Thank you for joining me, and welcome to Ajima's World. I'm Ajima, and this is my world. Today I'm going to talk to you about the dating sites. Waste of time. There may be some dating sites out there that's good, but in my opinion, they're all a waste of time. So let's start off first with one of the sites that's free that I tried. I'm still on, but I don't really use it. But I just, I'm still on there. I'm still a member. It's called Plenty of Fish. Site is waste of time. Now, let me tell you a few things that happened to me. I first joined it, I don't know, probably about a good 10 years ago when I was living in Cleveland, Ohio. And at the time, there weren't like a whole lot of people on there, but it has grown and they do charge now. And in the times that I've joined it, it's a lot of wasted time, people coming on and wasting your time and just talking and never meeting you. I think I actually only met about like 3 women, 3 African American women. No, not bad, okay, but I was surprised by a few of them. One I met at a club outside of Cleveland. And she basically talked about how she had a lot of relationships that were like, friends with benefits. I don't know if that's something you want to tell somebody and you're on a date. And she was telling me that now she was looking for a husband. She didn't want her time to be wasted. She was ready to get married. It was that time. And I'm like, wow. So she wanted to know if I was looking to get married because she didn't want her time to be wasted. I was kind of like really surprised by that. It was like unbelievable. The second one I met at a McDonald's, I think it was. We talked. We had a good time talking. No real connection. She talked a lot about just meeting guys, trying to rush her to move into her place or get them to move in their place because they're just basically looking for somebody to help pay rent. Okay, so... And that was like a lot of the conversation. So there was no connection. She was a nice person. There was no connection. Then I met another young lady, much younger than me. Didn't look anything like a picture. We went out, spent a lot of money on her, which she was not my type when I seen her. But I was trying to be polite. Took her out. There was no connection. I guess she wasn't feeling me, or she knew I wasn't feeling her because we weren't. She definitely wasn't my type, and we didn't stay in contact. Then I met a young lady, reading her profile, from New York, and thought we had a lot in common because the one's from Ohio. Met her at a restaurant, nice restaurant, and it was a bad time because most of the time she wanted to go to a restaurant. I think it was a Fridays, and she practically knew all the people there. She ate there a lot. And I was so upset because she talked more to the people that worked there than we talked. She just was having this all conversation going on with everybody. And I'm like, what? Bartender, this male bartender and this white male bartender and everybody that's coming in. I was about to say, you know what? Just give me my tab and let's go. But being a gentleman, stayed, which I shouldn't have. I should have left. So those were the ones in Ohio. And after that, I just kind of like knew that Plenty of Fish was a waste of my time. It really was. And I did talk to somebody for a long time. She was like, pictures were beautiful. And every time I kept trying to meet up with her, nothing ever happened. I mean, she kept canceling out. She kept saying, oh, I would like get off out of class early. And said, okay, you got to be there this time. I'm getting off of class early. So you must be there. She said, yeah, I'm going to be there. And then I'll go home and change and call her. And she was like, oh, I don't like that place. Can you meet me somewhere else? Wasted my time. All right, so that was all my experiences in Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. It was bad. So I just stopped going on. And then I moved back to Boston like in 2014. I'm into like meeting anyone regardless of your color. As long as you're cool and we connect, fine. Met a few women. met one white young lady, and she's talking about how she was going out with this young Jamaican dude that was like 10 years younger than her, and he was terrorizing her and all this stuff and watching her, and I really didn't want to hear that. So she was basically scared to death, looking over her shoulder, and I was like, okay, I better get away from this. She sounded like she had a stalker, which she was a stalker, so left that alone. Met another white young lady who pictures look good. She was an aerobics instructor, was in good shape, but her pictures had to be like at least 10 years old or something, because when I seen her, she was much older. I mean, like, this lady had like a beautiful condo outside of Boston. I can't remember where at, but outside of Boston, beautiful, beautiful condo. Nice white Jaguar, nice place. But neglected to tell me she had a pit bull. Walked in, this pit bull just looked at me. I said, oh my God, this lady, she didn't mention, no, you did not mention me. So the whole time, he just stood right next to me, just right there watching me the whole time. And I was just, she expected me to be comfortable with this pit bull just there, sitting there, staring at me while we talked and while she watched TV. So that definitely was a turnoff right there. And the fact that she didn't look like her pictures, and she had that Donald Trump thing going on, doing a lot of tans and looking like orange. You know, she was really into black, this and that. And so she was trying to have a nice brown tan, and she looked at orange and stuff. You know, so left that alone, moved on. And then, you know, stopped going on there for a long time. And then, you know, went back on there again and met someone from outside of Boston. Another older white lady. Went out to dinner, had a good time. Again, you know, somebody who liked black people. There's a black lady there that was having a conversation with us. They kept having conversations. That was kind of a little bit of a turn off. And, you know, but then we ended up having our dinner, and we talked, and we walked around. You know, we was out in Natick Mall. We walked around and talked. Lady was nice, had a lot going on and stuff. But then, you know, there was like a death in her family, and the fact that I thought I would give her some space, and she got mad because I gave her space, and, oh, you didn't stay in contact. So it was just a lot of drama, so I just left that alone. So, plenty of fish. Waste of time. Oh, yeah, and I also met an African sister. I think it was in Boston. Yeah, it was in Boston. I met an African sister. She was pretty nice. You know, I think she thought I was African. She kept talking about, oh, I thought she was African. So, in my impression, that she was trying to meet African, so I kind of left it alone. But she kept saying, no, that had nothing to do with it. And I said, well, you know, the way you kept talking, how you thought I was African because of my name. So I left that alone. But, you know, nothing really bad to say about her or anything. But I did have a good time with her. So plenty of fish, leave it alone. It's a waste of time. So the next one I want to talk about, did I join? I also joined this one when I was in Ohio, and you had to pay for it. Filipino Cupid? Yeah, it was Filipino Cupid. I believe it was Filipino Cupid. Oh my God. The experiences on there were like unbelievable. I tried to sit down and think about it. I think I must have spoke to at least 3,000, 3,500 young ladies. A lot of it was like a waste of time. Most of the women would talk to you for like about 5 minutes and start asking you for money and start telling you problems and telling you that, you know, all these things that was going on, and they start telling you right away, I love you. And I was like, yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. Okay? So that was like unbelievable. So there was like women who were like, I know they were like a lot of fake, you know, just there was some like really gorgeous women, a lot of gorgeous Filipinos that were contacting me. And then some that wanted me to like, if you want to talk to me, I want you to come and get me. I want you to come. You got to come in within a month's time, 3 weeks' time. I'm not going to waste my time. So I did run across a lot like that felt that the time was being wasted. I'm sure they went through some bad experiences before, and they didn't want to keep going through it. So that's my impression, is that they was having a lot of bad experiences with people wasting their time. So I kept meeting a lot of drop dead gorgeous women who was like, hey, you have to come and see me within a month's time, or otherwise I'm not going to talk to you anymore. Do you agree? And stuff like that. I was like, no, come on, don't be silly. There's no way I'm going to come in a month's time. Or they'll say, you have to come and stay for like 2 months and get to know me and we get to know one another. And I was making all these crazy demands. That was happening quite a bit, which was like turning me off. And then they would block you and you're like, no, it's impossible. I can't come and stay for 2 months, or I can't leave and meet you in 2 weeks. So that was happening a lot, which was like unbelievable. And also college students. There's a lot of college students looking to meet guys to help sponsor them and pay the tuition. So there was a lot like that, looking for some people to pay the tuition. And I was like really turned off by that. So a lot of them, some may have good intentions, some may have bad. But, I did end up meeting one, college student. We talked, we still talk, we're still good friends. I thought she may be the one. I did think about maybe going to see her and marrying her. But one time she had mentioned how her sister had met this white guy from Australia and paid all education. And her mom felt that if I was serious, I would do the same thing because she was in college. I was like, no, wrong person. I'm not going to do that. That's not me. But she still continued to talk to me, and her family didn't want, I guess they didn't want to, she didn't tell them that she was still talking to me, and so whatever, but we're still friends now. And after a while I realized, because she kept talking about wanting to have kids, and I know that I don't want to have kids anymore and get married again. I mean, I thought about getting married, but having kids again, and this young lady's about like 30 years younger than me. So, nah, I'm too old to be trying to do that again. So it hit me, hey, you're too old, to try to have kids again, She's like 30 years younger than me. So we're just friends right now, even though she's trying to keep pushing it. I'm sure she's moving on with her life. She's saying she's not, but I know she is. We talk once in a blue moon. And that's it. The next one I want to talk about is Latin Cupid. I believe it's Latin Cupid. Latin American Cupid. Another bad one. I think I had a lot of hard times dealing with the Dominican women on there. The Dominican women was like, oh yeah, they just right off the bat, I need money for my rent. I need money for this hair. My mom's having surgery. Right away. They'll say, oh, hi, you look so nice. I'm trying to meet a nice guy like you. Yes. Do you think you can help me? Dinero, you start seeing dinero, money. My mom's having surgery. Oh, I'm about to lose my apartment. And they be asking for ridiculous amount of money and stuff. So when I start hearing that right away, no, block them. Nope, sorry, can't help you. And as far as the Dominicans, usually a lot of them do that. I mean, the majority of them that I met, they asking for money. I met a nice one. She was like way younger than me. I didn't want to talk to her. 19 years old, very bright, kept pursuing me. And I just felt, okay, she's going to be wanting money. And I kind of was like pushing her away. And then she had got upset and said something that just shocked me. She said, wow, you can come here and meet my family and talk to people. I'm a virgin. I'm not involved with anybody that really like you. And she told me I was going to give it to you and all this stuff, and you just messed it up. And I was like, wow, this young person just talking all like that. Like, wow, what's going on over there? And she was saying how she didn't want to be involved with Dominican men and all this stuff, because a lot of times when they get the women pregnant, and they get scared and they be killing them and killing the girls and stuff, killing them off, and because they don't want to pay child support. Bad. Colombian women, I really didn't have a lot. Maybe a small few. They may not have been from Colombia, but some good experiences. I got a few that I talked to that are friends. Never really asked me for anything. One I actually met when I was in Colombia. I mean, there was I kept a list of a couple of them, and there was one that was like really nice, and she never asked me for anything. I thought felt that she was the one, but and then I saw that she had this big old tattoo on her stomach, and that kind of like turned me off. And so we talked about that. She felt sad, but we stayed friends, and I think we'll always be friends. Great person. So she had told her dad about me, and his dad was upset about her having the tattoos. Oh, I told you about that tattoo. So, yeah, she was like a good person. I met a black Colombian one, and fine. Everything was going good. I was supposed to meet her because over the summer of July 2019, I went to Medellin, Colombia. Decided to call a few of them. Was gonna hang out. The Afro-American one, can't remember her name off the top of my head. We started some drama because I called her kind of late, and she was like, "Oh, you've been in my country all the time, and you calling me and stuff." Then she was like, "Oh, no, pay for my Uber," and I was like, "Oh yeah, where you coming from?" And then she got upset. I said, "You know what? You're starting a lot of drama over nothing, and we're not even have a relationship. So no, keep it moving." End up meeting one. Surprised, I didn't know what was going to happen. We end up meeting. Much better in person. Drop dead gorgeous, about 29 years old, which is still a lot younger than me because I have a daughter that's 31 years old. But we had such like a great time hanging out. We was at the mall. We had dinner together. We just walked around and talked. And we were supposed to have gotten together the next day, but I had to go do some shopping for my sons, get some things for my sons before I went home, and didn't get to hang out with her and her family. So, but otherwise, she was great. Latin American Cupid, I would say Dominican ones I would stay away from. Maybe one I met that was really good. I can't remember why we went separate. I think because she was extremely skinny, and I was like, whoa, she's extremely skinny, but she was like a really nice person, and had a great time always talking to her. Okay, so again, I think if you're gonna meet, go to those countries and meet. And I'm not saying you can meet somebody online. It's possible. But don't send money. Because some people, that's their job. Okay, because I have a lot of stories where people, that's their job. People is like constantly asking for money. And then if you Google them and stuff, and you find out they're scammers, you find out that they're married. Some of them have husbands, and they're doing this and giving the money to their husbands. And girls have told me all kinds of stories and stuff. And so please don't do it. Try your best not to do it. Go meet the person. Tell them right off the bat, I don't do that. You want to meet, because I met some woman from Colombia also. It was like, yeah, I'd like to meet you, but you pay my rent, or can you do this? And I'll wait for you. I'm like, no, that's not going to happen. So, the numbers of Colombian women that have done that was like really small. Could have been from Venezuela. I met some women from Venezuela who said that. And I'm like, no. And they was like, oh, I just moved here. I don't have a place to stay. And I need, well, you're online. You got a phone. You're doing this. No, that's not going to happen. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it. Okay? So, plenty of fish. Filipino Cupid. No, the worst. Be careful. I mean, again, though, I met some good ones, like I said, from Filipino Cupid. I met this one, her mother was a doctor. And this one is, I'll like show some pictures, no insulting any women, because she was like a really good, I did meet some good ones. I would say like, of all the women I met, I think probably maybe 10, probably less than that. Some really, really good women. Because the one from the Philippines I met, her mother was a doctor, extremely beautiful. The family was beautiful. And she showed me all these pictures. And one thing about with her is that I kind of like changed my mind with her because she had told me how she was engaged to this white guy. I can't remember. I guess he's from Europe somewhere. And how he came. He gave her an engagement ring, and then they had sex. And how he wanted to do all these dirty things, and he was into these creepy things, and he was trying to make her do that, and all some really odd stuff, and she didn't want to do it, and so he was upset, really upset about it. And so when she told me that, I was like, ooh, I don't know if I could deal with that. She had already been with a man like that, so that kind of turned me off. And then she realized, oh, so you don't like me because of that. And I'm like, well, you just gave yourself. She goes, yeah, but I thought I was going to marry her. And I was like, yeah, but I don't know if I felt comfortable. So we kind of stopped talking, but this lady was like class. I mean, really classy. The type that, hey, the man's the head, the woman's the neck. And I was like impressed. Extremely bright. Okay, so there's some good Filipino women's lawyers. I did meet some lawyers too. I forgot to tell you that. I met some lawyers that were like, they had a couple of kids that kind of shied me away because they had a couple of kids. Engineers. I met an engineer that was like really into black men. And they had a black man from New York that was like taking advantage of her, coming there, and she was paying for the hotel, and he, going off and seeing other women while she was at work, and she's paying for the hotel, and he's going out and seeing other women, which is sad that a brother would go there and do this. And this lady was extremely hard worker, and she did everything, and he just basically used her. I still had other women there, So there's a possibility, but you just have to be extremely careful. And as I said, Cupid, Latin American Cupid is one, you gotta be real careful, use your brain. And again, like I've been to Colombia, and they do like older men. You just have to find a good one. So again, please be careful. When you're talking online, you don't know who the people are. Because I know at one time I was talking to somebody, she asked for my number. Somebody wanted me to call her, I couldn't call her. I can't remember which site it was. And she called me, and I said, oh, well, you can call me. And the dude picked up, he said, oh, yeah, you so-and-so, you live in America, and you don't have business to call. And I said, oh, so y'all hustlers and stuff. He said, yeah, you should be ashamed. So I said, no, you should be ashamed of yourself. You're trying to hustle people. You're scammers and stuff, So, so a lot of times, girls are on there getting money, making money for their boyfriends and stuff. Could be Africans too. The Africans, the Nigerians, could be Filipino men and Latin men. So remember that. Be careful of that. Sometimes fake profiles. I have people that were older women contacting me. I mean, like older than me, sending me some crazy pictures. I was like, whoa, in bikinis. I was like, whoa, this lady's like about like 6 years older than me, like in her 60s and stuff, and sending me pictures of her in a bikini. And I'm like, man, and people that was just desperate to get out of their countries and stuff. So, yeah, and I had this model, freelance model from Colombia. I had put up, not from Colombia, sorry, from Philippines, that was talking for a long time, never asked me for a dime, not one single dime. And, I thought this person may be the person. I was in a hotel at the time. And then she asked for a lot of money, crazy money, to buy a phone. And at the time, I think I only paid like $150 for my phone. And she was like $700 and something. I was like, no, I don't do it. She got upset that she was asking for like, okay, well, I need this money for this here, like $200. I was like, no, you told me you had all this money saved up. I said, are you going to do it? I said, well, I'll let you know. And I never got back to her. And she kept calling me, and she was all upset. So, all right, fine. And so I think it was about like 4 months later, whatever, I go back online and trying to talk to her. She wouldn't talk to me. And come to find out, she had just got married to this white guy, photographer. Okay? So she's probably just trying to get money and get ready, try to prove to him, oh, I'm making all this money. And, so, yeah. Be careful. I don't care what site it is. Be careful. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. This is a dreamer's world. This is my world, and you're just in it. Take care. Peace. And, hey, guys, please subscribe, comment, and like. I appreciate it. Take care.